Once upon a time, there was a poor widow who lived with her son. Her son Jack did not work because he was a very lazy young man. That was why they almost had no money.
Mom, is there anything to eat? I'm hungry.
Each passing day, they had become poorer and poorer until they had come to a point where they had to sell their cow, Milkwhite, because they could no longer feed her. Jack's mother told him to bring the cow to the marketplace and sell it for the best price he could get. Maybe then they could buy some food to eat. On his way to the market, Jack came across a somewhat weird-looking old man. The old man had a look at the cow and turned to Jack and said,
Hi, my boy. If you give me this cow, I will give you very valuable things in return.
Jack was very happy to hear this. The old man took out 5 beans from his pocket.
Beans? But these are magic beans.
Jack, of course, did not believe him at first. But the old man insisted.
Look, young man, you seem like a good and bright kid. Take these magic beans. You won't regret it. Trust me.
Jack believed the old man and gave him Milkwhite in return for the magic beans. Happy with the exchange he had made, Jack ran home.
Ma, look what I've got!
Seeing Jack running to her so excited, his mother thought that he had sold the cow for a lot of money. But then when Jack showed her the magic beans, his mum was pretty cross. She threw the magic beans into the garden and sent Jack to his room. You are grounded in your room until I tell you to come out, and no dinner for you tonight. In the morning, Jack looked out the window, and he could not believe his eyes. From his bedroom window, he could see a stalk growing up really fast. This was neither a tree or a giant flower. This was a magic beanstalk. Jack jumped on the giant beanstalk from his window. Using the leaves and the twisty vines like the rungs of a ladder, he started to climb up the beanstalk. After a while, he found himself in a weird place where everything was much bigger than normal. He saw a path full of flowers and a very big house at the end of it. Jack came to the house and knocked on the door. A lady giant answered.
Well, I was going to ask if you had something to eat.
Yes, I do, but you must disappear before my husband gets back because he loves the taste of young children and so he eats them up.
Jack, of course, was a bit frightened, but also he was very hungry. Just as he was sitting at the table to have a bite, he heard someone talking outside with a deep voice.
Fee, fo, foes, I smell a child with my nose. Raw or cooked, I don't mind. I can't get enough of those.
The woman called out to Jack.
Hide in the oven right this moment, my child.
Jack hid in the oven at once. The giant went into the kitchen and started to sniff around.
I can smell children.
What are you talking about, dear? You're probably smelling the meat I've given the cats yesterday.
After he had finished his dinner, the giant started to count his gold. After a short while, he was tired from counting the gold, and so he fell asleep. Jack came out of the oven and took a bag of gold. He threw the bag right under his magic beanstalk. Then off he went down, holding onto the beanstalk. He found the bag of gold he threw down and ran home right away. When Jack's mother saw the gold, she was very happy. From that day on, there would be no more poverty or hunger for them. But after a few months had passed by, all the gold they had finished. With no other option, Jack climbed up the beanstalk and went to the house of the giants. The giant's wife was somewhat a little suspicious of him this time.
Last time you were here, we lost a bag of gold.
But still she pitied the young boy and invited him in. Not long after, the giant came home.
Fee, fo, foes, I smell a child with my nose. Raw or cooked, I don't mind. I can't get enough of those.
Hearing the giant's song, Jack jumped into the oven once again. After finishing his dinner, the giant asked his wife to bring his chicken. When his wife brought the chicken, he ordered the chicken to lay an egg. Leaving Jack fully surprised, the chicken laid a golden egg. And when the giant went to his room to rest, Jack came out of the oven and took the chicken and rushed down the beanstalk. Thanks to the golden egg, Jack and his mother were rich once again. But after some time had passed, Jack decided to try his luck once again and started to climb up the magic beanstalk. This time he went into the house without being seen by the wife and hid in a big copper pot. Sometime later the giant came home.
Fee, fo, foes. I smell a child with my nose. Raw or cooked, I don't mind. I can't get enough of those.
This time the giant's wife decided she wanted Jack caught.
If there is a child around here, then it should be in the oven.
Of course, Jack had hid somewhere else this time. The giant and his wife were determined to find the child, but although they searched everywhere in the house, they just could not find him. After their dinner, the giant put a golden harp on the table, and so he ordered play. Playing lullabies, the harp put the giant to sleep. At that moment, Jack knew that he wanted this harp more than anything else in the world. In order to do so, he climbed up the sleeping giant's knee, jumped on the table, and to the harp. But something really unexpected happened. Help! The harp yelled. Jack jumped down the table with the harp on his back. The giant woke up and started to run after him. Jack started to slide down the beanstalk as fast as he could, and the giant followed. When he reached home, Jack called to his mother.
Mom, quick, bring me an axe.
They both started to cut down the beanstalk. And finally, the beanstalk, and of course the giant, fell down on the ground with a big noise. They were safe from the giant.
Oh good, we're safe.
They were safe all right, But Jack was very regretful of all the things he had done. He almost lost his life because of his greed. He promised his mother that he would never ever steal from anyone again and that he would work really hard from now on. From that day on, Jack and his mother were never poor again. Yes, they did have the golden egg-laying chicken to help, but Jack also never stopped working ever again. Once upon a time, in a land on the east, there lived a poor but very good-hearted boy named Aladdin. Living with his mother, Aladdin did the hardest jobs, went the furthest distances, just to earn their living. One day, he was going far away to get some bananas to sell in the market. Suddenly, he came across a well-dressed man with a beard and a dark look. The man talked, showing the gold in his hands.
Hello, my boy. I'm an old friend of your father's. Would you like to win a gold coin?
A gold coin? If I pick bananas for the rest of my life, I still wouldn't earn that much money.
The man asked Aladdin to go down the hole, under the rock, a little further away, and asked him to do as he said. Aladdin thought that this was a very easy task. Together, they pushed the rock further away and watched as the hole appeared. Being as tiny and as agile as he was, he managed to go through the hole. Inside, he found a very narrow staircase, and down he went. When he made it to the bottom, he saw that the cave was lightened up with an old lamp. He couldn't believe his eyes. Inside the cave were precious stones, gold, and was full of treasure. While still at shock, Aladdin got scared from the voice he heard from up above.
Lamp! Have you seen the lamp? Turn the light out and just bring the lamp to me.
Out of all that treasure and gold that was lying there, Aladdin couldn't believe that the only thing that the man had wanted was this old, worthless lamp. Now, Aladdin was scared. Aladdin took the lamp and began climbing up the staircase. But before he did anything, the man started to yell.
Give me that lamp, quickly!
Aladdin couldn't understand the man's behavior.
First, I want to get out of here.
If you don't give me the lamp, this instant I will lock you up in this cave forever!
At that point, Aladdin knew that this man was up to no good.
No, first I want to get out of here.
All right then, you asked for it.
Hey, stop! What are you doing?
Unaware of dropping his ring in the cave, the man pushed the rock back on the hole and left Aladdin there. Aladdin saw the ring on the floor. And as soon as he picked it up and put it on, with a tremendous noise, the cave lit up in a pink cloud, and from the cloud appeared what seemed to be a giant. In fear, Aladdin took a look at the giant.
Wish for anything you want, but don't you forget, you only have 3 wishes.
I wish to go home.
Okay, my boy.
With a glimpse, Aladdin was back at home. Seeing her son appearing from nowhere, Aladdin's mum began to scream. Aladdin explained to his mother all that had happened. He told her that he wasn't able to get the gold, but instead was left with this old lamp. Wanting to clean the lamp, Aladdin began to rub it. Suddenly, the fumes coming out of the lamp covered the whole room, and a genie appeared from nowhere.
Woohoo! Wow, man, I've been trapped in this lamp for hundreds of years, and you saved me! Well, wish for anything you want.
Stunned and frozen, Aladdin and his mother kept staring at the genie. The genie repeated what he said.
Wish for anything you want. Well, in that case, prepare us a table full of delicious food and drinks.
All of a sudden, a feast table appeared in the middle of the room with all kinds of food, fruits, and sweets. From that day on, thanks to the magic lamp, anything Aladdin and his mother wished for came true. They were living a rich and happy life. A long time passed by. One day, when passing through the market, Aladdin saw Princess Jasmine, the king's daughter, on a silver throne carried by the soldiers.
And he fell in love with her.
He went home and told about it to his mum. And his mum prepared a chest full of gold with the genie's help and went to the castle. She told the guards that she had brought a present to the Sultan. Liking the present very much, the Sultan called her to his presence. When she told him about her son's intentions, the Sultan asked her to prove her son's wealth and power.
If your son wants to marry my daughter, tell him to send me 40 slaves, each carrying a chest full of precious stones, and they should be followed by 40 soldiers to protect them.
Hearing the Sultan's wish, Aladdin's mother turned back home sad, because she thought that even the genie would not be able to grant a wish this big. Aladdin picked up the lamp and rubbed it harder than ever, and the genie came out.
Well, wish for anything you want.
Aladdin told him about the Sultan's wishes. The genie clapped 3 times, and suddenly right beside them appeared 40 slaves with chests full of treasure and 40 soldiers protecting them. The next day, seeing that all he had wished for was right there in front of his eyes, the Sultan was very impressed. He wondered how rich Aladdin was.
I want my daughter to live in a big and fancy castle. That is the only way I will let my daughter marry you.
Aladdin told the Sultan's wish to the genie. Genie granted his wish right away. Aladdin could not believe his eyes. A gorgeous, fancy castle was standing right next to their home. He couldn't believe his eyes. Sultan thought that he could not find a richer husband than Aladdin. Aladdin and Princess Jasmine had a huge wedding that went on for 3 days. Everybody heard about Aladdin's luck and wealth. But Aladdin and his mother did not say anything about the genie to Jasmine. One day, a salesman came next to Aladdin's castle.
Old lamps! Old lamps! I buy and sell old lamps. I buy anything that's old.
Jasmine heard the salesman yelling and thought that if she would exchange the old lamp with a new one, it would make Aladdin very happy. She gave the salesman the magic lamp and got a new one. The salesman was actually the evil man who trapped Aladdin in the hole where it all started. When he got a hold of the lamp, he immediately ordered the genie to move the castle far away with Jasmine in it. When Aladdin returned home that evening, the castle was nowhere to be seen. He knew something very bad had happened. Their old house next to the castle was still standing. He ran home right away and found the ring he found in the cave. As soon as he put it on his finger, the giant appeared once again.
Wish for anything you want. But don't forget, you only have 2 wishes left.
Take me next to Jasmine right away.
As soon as he finished his talking, he found himself in the castle. He hid immediately. His wife Jasmine was serving the evil man. He was holding a lamp in his hands. When no one could see him, Aladdin put the ring back on, and the giant appeared again.
Wish for anything you want, but don't forget, you only have one wish left.
Let that evil man go in a very long and deep sleep.
As soon as he finished his words, he ran next to his wife. Jasmine was looking at the evil man in fear. When she saw Aladdin, she got very happy. Aladdin told Jasmine all that had happened from the beginning. Jasmine listened to him with amazement. Aladdin rubbed the lamp again. The genie appeared.
Well, wish for anything you want. Send this evil man so far away that he can never ever find us again.
The sleeping man suddenly vanished. Aladdin asked the genie to carry the castle to its old spot.
Take us and the castle home.
The castle flew in the sky and landed back where it was before. With the castle back in its old place, Aladdin was finally next to his mother again. Aladdin, his mother, and the princess lived happily ever after.